Like you, how in the world you gonna like me? Yes, indeed, I see you, you see me. Okay? Every individual has their own right in what it is that they like. You might not like the color purple. Maybe that might be my favorite color. What we do, what we know, what we learn these things by having certain experiences. A lot of people, when they don't like themselves and they try to have a friendship or a relationship, how are they supposed to like the next person or get to know the next person when they have so many issues going on internally? I remember growing up with this one guy who was very likable, but he was trying to find his way. He was always having these fights in school, and no one could understand why it was that he was having all these fights in school. Well, they sent him to the guidance counselor, and of course, guidance counselor. The counselor would meet with him, I think, twice a week. And as the counselor met with him and spoke with him and gave him that time, is when everyone started, well, when the truth came out. He didn't have the same family background. His mother worked all the time, so he didn't have anyone to talk to. So he didn't like himself. He kept thinking that the reason why he didn't have friends and the reason why his mother was away from him for so long was that he wasn't a likable person. Once he started meeting with the guidance counselor started speaking to him and giving him that time, nurturing him. Now, this is not a perfect world all the time. Everything doesn't always fall into place right away. But with him, it seemed as though things fell into place right away. It didn't. He took, it took time. It took time for him to meet, to even get the guidance counselor's attention, where the teacher had to write a note for him to go to the guidance counselor. You know, everyone, it takes a full community sometimes to see the problem in order to fix the problem. Right now, we're having issues with different schools. You know, people have been bullied for so long that now they are reacting. And when a child reacts, let's say you go to your teacher, you tell your teacher that something's wrong, this person's bothering me. The teacher has all of these other children to look after, so sometimes they don't always take care of the problem, or they don't really know how to handle the problem. They might have to go to the principal. Sometimes these things take time, and sometimes there's a certain protocol where you have to go, the teacher has to put in a form that says this child is doing this or what have you. Then the parents have to come in. In a lot of cases, like this child that I grew up with, his mother never came to parents-teachers conferences. So she didn't know what was going on at the school. All she knew was what was going on at home and at her job. This is the reason why we have to be so cautious about how we do things. If you don't go ahead and you don't meet with the teachers for parents-teachers conference, you don't know what's going on with your child. All you know is what they're going to tell you when they get home. Sometimes your child is not going to tell you everything that's going on. You know, there's a saying that I grew up hearing, and they said, you know, it takes a village to raise up a child, is what it used to say. I don't know who came up with it, but the concept is really great. It does take more than just one person. It takes more than just the mother and the father. It takes the grandparents. It takes people in the community. Someone is always watching. So if someone's always watching, then if they have a good, close relationship in their community with the different people, then since someone's always watching, if your child is being bullied and your child comes home and they're afraid to tell you, if someone else saw it, that person can go ahead and tell the parents. That way they can take care of it, and perhaps the problem can get fixed. We live in a society where, I don't even want to put this title on it, but it's like a broken society. So many things are going on and nobody really knows what to do sometimes. You gotta have a relationship with God. My father figure used to always say, that we, a family that prays together stays together. I think we have to tap in even more so and say that a family that meditates together stays together. I think. Because when you pray to God, you're talking to God. But when you meditate, you're listening to God. The connection is even better if you're praying and meditating. You understand? So when we look at our problems in society, we have to look at what we can do, or what is it that we are doing that maybe we can make the necessary changes to fix the problem. Nobody should be being bullied at this point in time, but children as well as adults get bullied all the time. So that tells you that the problem might have started as children, but even as you become adults, the problem can enhance or it can extend. We have to figure out, how it is that we're going to make the necessary changes, because these problems are not going away when we have this destruction that's going on. It seems like every state is having a problem with bullying at this point in time, where you have shootings that's going on in these different schools. That tells us that this is a bigger problem than we thought beforehand. So we have to figure out another chain of command or another way of doing things so that our children will be safe. It's time for us to really begin to tap in. We need to be praying over this whole situation, because whatever happens in the school is going to be extended into all of our lives, just like the homelessness issue. You think it's only happening in your backyard, but it's happening all over the world. We have to figure out ways in which we can make the necessary changes, okay? And we can't just look at just one area. We have to enhance our lives, and the way that we can do it is with us tapping in and figuring out how we're going to make the solution possible. We have to connect and we have to speak. Us having meetings and talking about it is where it starts. Let's figure it out together. Thank you so much for joining us, Indigo Moon.